Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be doing some reverse or mortise masking. I'm going to be working with the Autumn Acorns stamp set and the Molotow masking pen. I'm going to start out by prepping the surface of an A2 piece of watercolor paper. This is an anti-static pouch that I use to prep the surface, and I'm stamping on the smoother side of this watercolor paper. It's by Canson and it's my favorite watercolor paper to work on. And I've got an outline image from the Autumn Acorn stamp set, and I'm inking up with VersaFine Onyx Black. This is a faster drying pigment ink, and I find that when I want to black emboss an image, I get the best results if I use a nice crisp black pigment ink and clear powder instead of the Versamark pad and black embossing powder. So this is my favorite way to black emboss. So now I'm going to drop that into my shoebox lid and take my heat gun. I did preheat it for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss these images. I will, after I'm finished, tilt it in the light just to make sure I didn't miss any spots and everything is very shiny and raised the way it should be. And then I know I have a good embossed image. So now I'm going to take the Pump Action Molotow masking pen. The barrel is filled with frisket or masking fluid, and it's a nice blue color so I can see exactly where it's going down. And as I need more fluid in the tip, I will just pump the pen against the surface of my paper or on some scratch paper to get it flowing down through the tip. And this is the 4mm size, but it does come in multiple sizes. And I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to start applying some clean water right over the top. And the Molotow pen is going to protect the interior of those images wherever I applied that masking fluid. So the water is going to go over the top and protect the image. And then I'm going to grab my Kudetake Gansai Tambi watercolors. Here you can see how much water I have on the surface. It was a little bit more than I needed, but I will be playing around with this. I like to load the paintbrush up with color and drop it into the water and let the water do a lot of the work. I'm going to clean out the brush and add some green a little bit here. And the trick to this is just being a little bit careful as you're adding and dropping your color in. If you have too much water, things can muddy. And here you'll see that I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little bit carried away with how much water is in my brush. And as I play around with this, you'll find me blotting my brush against some clean paper towel and then going in and lifting that excess water and sometimes excess color too along with it. But if I feel like I have too much water and things are going to start muddying on me and I don't like it, then that's how I can remedy that problem. So now I've gone back and decided, oops, I need more green in there. I lifted out so much water and color that I kind of removed a lot of the color that I wanted there. So I'm just going to go add it back in, and you'll see me going kind of back and forth here, playing around with how much color I want and lifting out excess water to avoid things getting too muddy. I don't mind a little bit of muddying and blending with those colors, but I just want to be careful it just doesn't all end up being, chocolate brown. Then that's no good and they don't look like autumn leaves, right? So now I'm going to keep on going here. I may end up at some point tilting the image in the light and letting the colors run here and there just to see what kind of an effect I'm going to get. And I'm just going to continue playing with it. So that's what you're going to see me doing. Now I'm happy with how much paint I have on here. There's a little bit of water there. I've set the paint aside and I'm going to take my panel here and just tilt it a little bit and let those colors kind of mix and blend and run together. Not too much though, because I don't want to end up with mud. And then the hardest part is to set it down and let it dry. Now it did buckle a little bit because I didn't anchor it down with some tape to a clipboard to keep it nice and flat. So hindsight 2020, next time I'll remember to do that. But now it's time to go ahead and remove the masking fluid. And I just have a washcloth that I keep in my work apron in the pocket. And so I use it for cleaning up messes and drying off my stamps whenever I need to. So I just pulled that out of my pocket and I'm using the nubby side of the washcloth to rub away the frisket. And I find that this works better than anything else I've tried. I've used an adhesive eraser, I've tried my fingertips, and this seems to work the best for me. And the image is nice and protected here because I did emboss the outline there with clear embossing powder. So I just find that this really ends up giving me the best results whenever I'm masking with the Molotow masking pen. So now I've got everything cleaned away, looks sharp, and I'm going to trim this down just a hair, and I'm going to use my Fiskars paper trimmer to come in and do that and just take these super tiny slivers off the edge. I decided I wanted a really slight border here when I mat it to my base card. And I've also white embossed a greeting. This is Just Because from the Lovely stamp set, and I just used a Swiffer cloth there to buff off the anti-static pouch that was on the surface of the black cardstock. So right after embossing, I keep a Swiffer cloth and a washcloth in my apron pocket. No lie, it's a true story. So anyway, now I'm going to take some adhesive tape. This is the Be Creative tape, and I'm just going to run some strips along this. And because the paper was warped and I want to make sure it's anchored nice and solid all the way around, I don't want any of it buckling up. I'm just going to be a little bit heavy-handed there with my tape. And I'm going to peel off the liner paper on the middle section, and then on the two sections on either side of that, I'm just going to partially remove those. Those are going to act as little handles and allow me to hang on to that piece and kind of tack it down without permanently mounting it until I'm sure that's where I want it. And then I can remove the rest of the liner papers once I'm sure it's tacked down exactly where I want it, and I won't end up destroying the card if I put it down in the wrong spot. Now that that's done, I can go ahead and take some foam mounting tape, mount that to the back of my little sentiment here, and mount that to the front of my card. I had a little bit of excess there. And there's my tweezers. I love my tweezers. They're like another hand in there, and they get in there when I can't see things because of my fingers getting in the way. And then to embellish the card, I decided to take some Pretty Pink Posh gold sequins, and I'm using multi-medium to just apply little dabs of glue, and then I'm going to drop those sequins right in there and use my tweezers again to press them down into place, make sure that they're anchored firmly into that multi-medium. And I think that finished off the card really nicely. I love this effect of the mortise masking and using the Molotow masking pen. I thought it really reflected a really nice, you could go either masculine or feminine with this design. I love how it turned out. We have more still shots available at the Classroom blog, and all the supplies are available at ellenhudson.com. Thanks for watching.